Hey y'all, TJ here. It's Tuesday, July the 30th. Far from January. Temperatures are far from January temperatures too. Anyway, recently got the bike back from a 16,000 mile service. I took it up to Hattiesburg, Mississippi from Mobile, about a 100-mile ride. The 16,000 mile service on this bike is a little more involved because it requires to at least look at the valves and a valve adjustment if necessary. Navy training jets going into Mobile Regional. A little bit noisy, but I'm used to it. I've always lived near an airport or on a military base. Anyway, the bike, no problems. They didn't have to make any valve adjustments. It's running great. Somebody had asked me about the quick release mounts for the passenger's backrest and the hardware on that, because I've had an issue where the bolt head on the rear bolt on each side of the hardware is rubbing the lid of the saddlebag. It's rubbing the paint off. Hattiesburg actually submitted that for warranty work and got it approved from Yamaha, so they were sent touch-up paint essentially. I left it with them for a week while I went to work, and they were supposed to touch that up. So let me show you the hardware here, just a minute. Okay, so here's your front bolt and here's your rear bolt. And essentially, I think this is a design flaw on Yamaha's part. This bolt head, which you see is a button head, that should be a flat head, and then the bracket in here, which is where your CB antenna would go on the left side if you had the GT model. The right side has the regular AM FM antenna, or FM antenna. So this bracket, that should be countersunk, because as it is right now, that bolt head, there is less than a 1/4 inch of clearance, and at highway speed with air pressures and vibration, it's causing this to flex. See, I'm pushing on it now, and I'm just about touching that bolt head. Sorry, I'm shaking the camera a little bit too much. Anyway, but what it's doing, rough roads and vibration, it's causing the paint to chip. See that? Let's see if I can get that in focus for you. There you go. And it's doing it on both sides. So they were supposed to touch it up. Their paint guy actually did do the work, and then right before he handed it back to him to give back to me, he peeled off that side, because look how crappy a job that turned out to be on this side. I mean, that doesn't even match. I don't know what the guy was thinking, but I mean, come on. I hope they don't pay that paint guy too much, because that's crap. So the other side, he peeled it off. He knew it was bad. He just peeled it off and handed it back to me like that. So, it's on the inside. I've got some plastic, it's like a plastic. It's a thin, like a sticker kind of thing, like a protector. It's clear that I'll lay over that. I'll just cut a piece, lay it over that, because it's going to rub off anyway. I don't even know why they bothered to touch it up to begin with. It's going to continue to do that because of the way it's designed. I mean, touching it up, that's just a band-aid. That doesn't fix anything. And I'll show you on this side. Actually, this side has less clearance. That's probably an 1/8 of an inch clearance. There, I'm pushing it, and it's touching that bolt head. So it is what it is. I mean, it's poor design on Yamaha's part. Other than that, everything works great. And I'll put the backrest on to show you what it looks like with the backrest on. All right, so there it is, backrest in place on the hardware. So you see that doesn't affect anything as far as the hardware mounts, because it's all interior. But that's it. Sorry for the shaky camera work, trying to hold the camera with one hand and point to things with the other, and trying to look in two spots at the camera, on the back of the camera, or the phone that I'm using, and what I'm trying to show you. So I apologize for that. Anyway, hope you all are having a good time. I know I don't get on here much anymore. I just felt like I haven't had a whole lot to say, really. I'm just not one of those talkative guys like some of those other vloggers are. Anyway, peace out. Talk to you later.